Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. And Grab Second Gear says, I couldn't go through with it, Brother Z. Bet I have an idea. Yeah, yeah. Vic looked like he's a masochist like Z. Z. Vic said, I said through it, and I think that's enough for me, bro. And here's the thing, y'all. I put a second link from Ostefco, and I did it last minute. I'm sorry, I put it up like I thought I did put the second link. I just didn't save. So the whole time I think I gave y'all enough time. I put it maybe 45 minutes ago, and I'm thinking I gave you guys enough time, and apparently not, because when I realized that it wasn't saved, it was like only 3 minutes before it was time for me to stream. So my apologies. So I'm not really gonna go in on Ostefco. I'm gonna disagree with her, but I'm not really gonna go in too much. So for those of you that checked out the first video, I'm gonna be going back and forth between the first video and the second video on what I'm addressing. But and shout out to you, Toya. I just finished your stream a little while ago too. And BGS's stream. I was all over the place. And you know, and I agree with you, Toya, about BGS. That's why I spoke to FD when he tried to defecate on BGS. That's why I spoke about BGS the way I did. You Negroes were never going to address what black men are saying. You were going to keep on telling us to shut up, or the most we had was the barbershop, maybe, to express what's going on. Not the church, not black spaces, black men spaces, nowhere but maybe possibly the barbershop. So I agree with you, Toya, on how important BGS is to this space, and how like a lot of his detractors could not replace him. So there's that too. I agree with you on that. So let's get to it. What I would say to Ostefco about the hard wig soft life thing. Ostefco, so many women of color, not just black women, find very interesting ways to excuse feeling inferior to white women, feeling inferior to white girls. And oftentimes the way they go about that is saying that the boys and the men of their ethnicity and race rejected them. And so this is a really convenient, quote unquote, reason, I say excuse, but okay, to justify why, oh, I'm with this white guy, or I want to practice hypergamy first. Let's address something. Ostefco, 2/3 of men in America, not just black men, 2/3 of men in America will not earn more than $65,000 a year in their lifetime. 2/3, right? About 10-ish% of men in America earn six figures or above. So that's $100,000 a year or above. The median household income, that's the halfway point. That's half above, half below. I'm explaining this to Ostefco like she's not an educator, but okay. It's $74,000 a year. Right? Ostefco, this idea that's coming from women of color, look, if we are to say that white colonialism, white hegemonic power on planet Earth over the past, give or take, if we're going to start from its inception, this type of white hegemonic power. So are we going to start it with Columbus, 1492? Do we want to start it there when he stelled out? Right? Because if we started there, we working on 500-ish years. But if we started around when pretty much the West had East Asia on lock, they already captured Africa, they already got South America, they already had Australia, they already pretty much slaughtered the Aboriginal people of Australia. We'll give it about 200 and some odd years, give or take, 100 and some odd years. I like to start it at 1492, to tell you the truth. But fine. Ostefco, that has had an effect on the minds of not just the men of color, but the women of color, Ostefco. I'm not saying that maybe you weren't bullied as a child for your skin tone and your hair texture, maybe even possibly by black boys. Oh, Stefko, how many black boys can I bring up to you? Black men now that were black boys that were bullied by black girls for their skin tone. Fundamentally, what we have, oh, Stefko, is that black women really believe, and some of them are pretending to believe, that they're standing on the morally superior high ground. That they're morally superior to black men. Their stories are more authentic and real. Their stories are not coming from a place. What they're saying, what they're advocating for is not coming from a place of not only being envious and jealous of white women, which is debatable, but also not seeking to abuse other, which is debatable, right? So all of this, from you, Ostefko, to Mindy Kaling, you have Amanda Marianne, you have Madison Brown, you have Chrissy, all of these people, right? As a matter of fact, just in case Ostefko ever comes onto this, I will link the stream I did a few weeks ago, where it's and in the stream I have a bunch of links. It's maybe 22, 21 links, and it's just nothing but women of color finding really interesting ways, either women of color speaking about friends and associates they know, which are other women of color, or women of color just finding interesting ways of just justifying. And you don't have to justify it if this is what you're trying to do, but okay, trying to justify the white peen chase, right? The white peen chase. And that's all it is, Ostefko. That's all it is. So many, from South Asian women to East Asian women to black women to indigenous women to Latinas, all chasing after the white dude. And it's always the men of your ethnicity and background and race's fault. Oh, they didn't find me attractive, or they were bullying me, or they were ignoring me. Or how do we end up here? And we have online dating statistics that show, look up the dating divide, look up Jennifer Lundquist, Ostefko, and look up Dr. Jennifer Lundquist, Dr. Chantel Buggs. They wrote a book about this, and it says women of color respond first to white men and then to men of their varying background, varying races and ethnicity and background. Chantel Buggs said no, the different women that she spoke to, different backgrounds of people, pretty much everyone that's into men, minus gay black men, everyone that's into men had a thing for white men with beards. Oh, Stefko, white hegemonic power had an effect on the way women of color, that includes black women, see men and masculinity. All that hypergamy, hard wig, soft life talk sound nice, but it's not real. Most white men don't got it like that. They don't. As per your own stories, Ostefko. And Ostefko, think about, and I'm not saying that I'm not about burying black women per se for their past, but think about what you said. You felt like you were bullied as a kid by black boys. You were always open to interracial relationships, as you said, because of how you were raised, your background, the environment you were in. Okay, fine. You were always open, even as a child, to interracial relationships. Fine. You got burnt doing the interracial thing. These are your words, Ostefko. Fine. Now, for you, if you are to end up with someone, most likely it's going to be a black man because there's just a familiarity there. Fine. Okay, cool. Well, Mr. Z will accept all of that. All right, at face value. Fine. Do you not understand how insulting that is? And yes, I heard you, and on the second link, y'all see this. For those of you that actually check it out, um, you said you were on a rooftop in New York, speaking to a black man who also had similar situations. Both of y'all did the interracial thing. Now y'all don't see yourselves ending up with someone who's not of the same background, who's also not black. So he's saying he's looking for a black woman. You're saying you're looking for a black man. Fine. But to both of you, especially you, Ostefko, because you're a social media public figure, do you not understand how insulting that is to black men? Black people play the dozens with each other, right? Black girls feel a certain way. Okay. Y'all run over to, let's be honest, it's really white boys and white men. It's oftentimes not the Latinos, not the Asians. Asian dudes got a little play right now because of K-pop music and whatnot, and because of the Asian gym bros. Okay, cool. But fine. Right? Y'all go, oh, Stefko, you got to think how men think. Men, not just black men, men. Oh, Stefko, black women go over there. Go become the human jack-off machine for non-black men, primarily white men. Let's call a thing, Stefko. I'm not asking how women think of it. I'm not asking how black women think of it. I'm telling you how men think of it, black men think of it. You go over there to become the human jack-off machine for white men. When you realize that all you were was something to knock off a bucket list or maybe something just to do in the moment, then you come back, and as BGS has said, oftentimes these women are the most pro-black women ever. Oh, Stefko, it's insulting. Black men tell y'all what's over there. Just like black women feel like they telling us what's over there with Becky and Mei Ling and Consuela and whatever derogatory term they want to use for these different groups of women, fine. Black men let me say this again. For all the random black women that might be on this channel, y'all don't know them the way we know them because we're the ones that play basketball with them, flag football with them, company baseball with them. We're the ones who go to happy hour with these dudes. We're the ones, and I say it often, y'all think I'm joking, we're the ones that they try to hit on when they're drunk. Just like y'all tell us y'all know Becky better than we do, Mei Ling, Consuela better than we do, fine. Fine. Oh, Stefko, black men know what these white dudes are on. We're trying to tell y'all, and y'all looking at, oh, Stefko, I hear your tone. You're looking at Gen Z like I see you trying to warn the Gen Z young women like, all right, hold your horses just a smidge. It may not be what you think, but you still love to see it. Oh, Stefko, it's going to be another generation of black women that thought they had it over there and then come back all bruised up and battered up. It's not going to change. Oh, Stefko, let me do this for you. Oh, Stefko, what you're saying to Gen Z, boomer black women thought the same thing. It didn't work. Extra black women thought the same thing. It didn't work. Millennial black women, now y'all, you can hear it on some of you. Y'all turning that down just a smidge, just a little bit. It's still F black men forever, but you done turned the dial down just a bit because now some of y'all on the other side of 40 and y'all been doing the interracial thing for 20 years and failing at it for 20 years. Now it's in case of emergency, break glass, go find you a black man. And Ostefko, it's not about having an epiphany. It's what we say over here. It's the Thanos. You couldn't deal with your failure, so what did it lead you back to? It's the Thanos. Many black women throw a temper tantrum because y'all think every black man is chasing after every single light-skinned black woman with softer hair. Y'all jealous of the light-skinned cousin y'all got. And so you throw a temper tantrum, stick the middle finger at black men, and then go over there to go be the pass around for white dudes. And when you realize it, then you scoot over back to the black community and you don't even admit that you had an epiphany. Well, maybe you did a bit, Ostefco. You did a bit, right? But for most black women, that's not what they do. They just super pro black now, or they just come back over here real quiet, huh? The language gets a bit more nuanced, ain't that right, Chrissy? Huh? Then they start saying, "Well, I never say that." Ain't that right, Crystal and Kerosene? See, after you've been married to the white dude for a little bit, and it's still so. Let me get this right. You couldn't make it work with your black baby daddy. You gave him and other black men the middle finger. Then you go over there and marry the white dude, the first white dude that looked just a bit stable. I seen the pictures of him. He looked a little thrown off, but okay, fine. Y'all get divorced, and now you're open just to a good man, even though you still jabbing at black men every here and there all the time. Huh? Oh, Stefco, black men are real human beings. You know that, right? Black men are real human beings. You know that, right? I know for y'all, black men are these monsters that love harming black women, and we get off on it. Especially darker skinned black women. We love rejecting darker skinned black women. We love seeing them hurt. And yes, Mr. Z is being hyperbolic. Oh, Stefco, that's how black women speak about black men, though. I'm purposely being hyperbolic. And y'all give Z 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Yeah. So black men are real human beings. I know it's easy to paint black men as a monster as monsters, and you weren't necessarily doing that on these two streams. But we're at the point where so many black women, when y'all speak about black men, to justify going over the because what it really is fine. Y'all don't. I can't get the richest, most attractive black men, and maybe you don't think like this, Ostefco, but you know them sisters be thinking like this. I can't get this chisel chin, tall, rich Tyrone. Fine, I'm gonna get somebody better. I'm gonna get me a white man, and then white men smut on y'all, play y'all, use y'all, and send y'all back the way they supposed to do it. I don't know why y'all think white men don't see that. That Hardwick soft life thing sound nice. Give it another year or two, and black women will be on something else. Right? It sounds nice. It ain't real. Give it another year or two, black women will be saying something different. Right? Because quite frankly, there's not enough rich men. Number one. There's not enough rich white men. Number two. And there's probably not enough rich white men that are gonna marry a black woman. Straight up like that. Yes, because the society is that anti-black and racist, which for some reason it sounds like so many black women just have a difficult time saying that part. I guess this is their way of like, if I don't say how anti-black the society is, then I can play around with this idea that some well-off white dude is gonna come up and scoop me up and marry me. If I admit that this system is anti-black, then what can be extrapolated from that is that most likely I'm not gonna end up with the ballerific white dude, the rich white dude. I will have dashed my hypergamous dreams and my dream to throw the rich white man in black men's faces. But Trail, for real though, right? Thank you, Compassion. And Compassion says racial hypergamy for black women is one of the big ass coping mechanisms. And by the way, Ostefko, what we call what when women of color are practicing, or at least the way they're speaking online with this Hardwick soft life and a bunch of women of color finding weird ways to still to end up with the white man. It's not really ending up with other non-white people. It's ending up with the white man. It's Latinas ending up with the white man. It's black women ending up with the white man. It's Asian women ending up with the white man. And y'all never actually have a conversation amongst yourselves on why are we all it mainly and it's not just a virtue of population. So let me get that right there. Do y'all even have the conversation of why so many of y'all are talking about the white man this way? Right? Y'all give me a second. Right? Lion said, it is a sickness. But for real though, and thank you, Demetrius. It's patriarchy. Ostefko, y'all want white men's power. Y'all want the wealth. You want to live under white men's patriarchy. Y'all could call it whatever you want. You could call it security. You could call it what you want. Ostefko, so many women of color. It's not a virtue of white men's population in America. It's the status that white men have. And y'all want to be able to throw a rich white man in your respective group of people's faces. You want to show the white man off to your black homegirls, and you want to throw him in black men's faces. Apparently, women of color just don't have the ovaries to overtly say it. Y'all find just weird and interesting ways of not saying that, but kind of sort of implying it, right? That's what it really is, right? And y'all give Mr. Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm back. I'm back. Mr. Z's back. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. Right. Had to put gas, and then I was in the way, and yeah, and the gas truck is here, so blocking me in. So I gotta, like, you park so that when you're done, you just pull off. And, like, because he's blocking the way, I gotta maneuver differently. Of course, y'all just here along for the ride of Z's life. Okay. Um, Back to the story at hand. So these arguments that we're witnessing, for the white peen chase, you know, look, I am not about telling black women who they shouldn't or should be attracted to, right? I'm asking black women, I'm asking Ostefco, is this really a justification for the white penis? Right? And Ostefco says in okay, let me make sure I do this the right way. Okay. All right, there we go. Ostefco says in the second was it the second one? It was the second clip, the one I posted like last minute. Um that she's been privy to the, oh, he's dating a black girl? Why? Right? And she says, it's awkward and weird, excuse me, being the black girlfriend, right? Or the black situation, however she phrased it. She didn't say situation. Mr. Z is saying situation. But yeah, right? I want black women to really take into account, you can't elevate past black men. Your beauty will not be validated by anyone until it's validated by black men. As a group, it won't happen. If you don't believe me, go ask Sir Mix-a-Lot. Uh-oh. Go ask Juvenile. Huh? If you don't believe me. Go ask Keisha from Belly. If you don't believe me. Huh? Right? Huh? If you don't believe me, go ask that model that had her lips on the advertisement for whatever product it was, and white folks were ripping her apart. It's an African sister, beautiful full lips, very kissable lips, dark skinned sister, and white racist folks were ripping her apart. It was black people, that includes black men, that came to her defense. Right? So this idea that spelt dark-skinned black women, their best opportunity is with white men, then how do we get Jodie Turner-Smith now in divorce? Huh? How do we get that? How do we get the African sister that ended up with the white dude? She's a model, her sister's a model, and then we catch videos of her hitting on her, well, soon to be, I think they're divorced now, but soon to be ex-husband, snatching up her kid, dark skin slim model. What happened? Oh, Stefco, these quote unquote reasons why black women are so excited and they love opening their options in Hardwick soft life. As I was saying before, boomers were saying the same thing. Xers were saying the same thing. Millennials, the oldest of you, were saying the same thing, kind of still are. Right? The same thing, Ostefco. It don't change because white men don't change. Y'all thought white men changed and then Charlottesville happened. And that was a whole bunch of 18, 19, 20, 22-year-old, 24, 5-year-old, 28-year-olds with tiki torches saying all the anti-Semitic stuff, say all of the anti-black stuff, all of the anti-Latino stuff. Y'all thought them dudes was cool. You thought they weren't like their daddies and their granddaddies. What happened? Huh? This is the real world. So, y'all over here, and I'm not saying Ostefco, but, my massive challenge, yeah, all that sound. How many of those black girls are still with the white dudes they were doing the my massive challenge with? I wonder. What, that was 2 years ago, give or take? I wonder how many of them are with the same white dude now. This is the real world. Black women, you can't escape black men. Thanos, right? You cannot escape black men. I know, black women, I know. It's not fair. You're not an upper middle class or rich or elite white woman, and you want to practice hypergamy, and you think white men are the best way to get there, and the white men can smell you coming from a million miles away. Huh? Right? Didn't Brad Pitt sleep with what's her name again? Um, Mike Tyson's ex-wife. Did we ever see him with a black woman? Did we ever see him with a black woman? Right? What's the name of that British actor that they caught with a black prostitute? Did you ever see him with a black woman? I mention this all the time. Kid Rock has a mixed son. You ain't never see this man with a black woman. Huh? Does that mean every single white man? No, but now you gambling. Not every single white man is on that. But how many of you are going to actually pull George Lucas? Huh? It's just weird ways of black women attempting to justify beating up on black men to interracial relationship and love with non-black men, namely white men, right? Come on, you are killing me right now. Loser. Y'all give me a second because and you went the wrong way. Dumbass. My apologies, y'all. Okay. All right. We got our laugh in for tonight. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. It's something to think about, Ostefco. It is. The Hardwick Soft Life sound nice. But like, how many rich white dudes are open to black women? Baller, okay, upper middle class white dudes are open to black women. There's a racial hierarchy in this country, and the only way to truly uproot it is by working with black men. Black men are who make black women pop. Period. Ain't nobody looking to white dudes to see what's cool. I know, black women, it's not fair. It's not fair. Black men are who make black women pop. Not even other black women can do it. It's only black men, period. So y'all can try to fight it as much as you want. You better get good with black men. before you're done with the white boys. Before you start with the white boys. Oh, I know that hurt. Black women hold on to this little childhood rejection trauma and whatever the hell. They hold on to it for 20 years. That's fright. Ostefko, that's scary, Ostefko. Ostefko, that's frightening, Ostefko. Black women talking about things from elementary school, middle school, high school. Holding on to whoever didn't find y'all attractive when we were kids, Ostefko. Children, minors. And what does it get most black women? A sticky back? Huh? Egg on your face? And then now you're open to black men? It's insulting. If black women want to say when black men do it, it's insulting, I'll take that. I'll take that. I have a whole argument for that, but I'll take it. But black women need to know it's insulting. We're not talking about one white dude. Y'all going from white dude to Latino dude to another white dude to another white dude to another Latino dude to maybe an Asian over here, South Asian, East Asian, depending on where you are. And you do that for 10, 15, 20 years. And then it's like, oh, well, I realize I have so much more in common with black men, and I don't want to have to explain myself and explain certain experiences. 15 years later, it's insulting. It's straight up insulting. And then to assume the moral high ground. Oh, you want to talk about putting salt in the wound. You're talking about insult to injury. Then to assume the moral high ground on top of that, which black women will kill to maintain that moral high ground. Stefko might be one of the few. Ain't nobody really saying, I thought I knew and I didn't know and I got my head bitten off. You don't catch black women saying that. Look, I was mad at black men. I threw a temper tantrum. I went over there to the white boys and to the Latinos, and yeah, it didn't work. It failed. Right? Stefko, you kind of you said it in passing, and I wonder how much of that is because only logical covered you. Oops. Stefko, you said it in passing that you got burned so bad in the interracial dating market. You said it it was just a blink and you'll miss it side comment you said. But Stefko, we know that's how it go. All this talk about, yeah, well, black men don't respect my features, but these non-black men will. Wait a minute, colorism in the Latino community? Huh? Colorism in the Latino? No, Stefko, let's call a thing a thing. The white boys are just not loud about how they think about y'all to y'all. That's what's going on. That's all it is. The white dudes they're just not saying it out loud. So you think they don't notice the wig? And I'm glad. Wait a minute, Z, how did you not congratulate yourself? I told y'all they go over there because they think it's easier. And that's essentially what Stefko said in that first video. We going over there because we think the white boys are naive because they don't really understand beauty regimen in the black community. They don't really know how I'm supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to look. They don't know if I'm unkept or not. In other words, What women of color, not just black women, are saying is white boys are an escape hatch for them. I don't want to have to look my best. So I'm going to go deal with the white dudes because they don't know how I'm supposed to look. Right? But here's the thing. How much are white dudes having sex with non-black women compared to how much do they actually marry y'all? Yes, that even includes East Asian women. I like to remind y'all, Richard Spencer had an Asian girlfriend once upon a time. Huh? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? Because the white dudes that I know and definitely the ones I used to know, y'all think that y'all call these relationships. That is not what the white guys are calling it. Dear black women, if you think you don't want to be in the barbershop with black men, you don't want to be, or you don't want to be in a black man's locker room, you don't want to be in the white dude's locker room. Juicy, if you think you don't want to be in a black man's locker room, you do not. Huh? Thank you, Lithium. Rupert Murdoch had an Asian wife too. Blocked a whole pie to his face or a cake to his face. Emphasis on the word had. And the heir to his empire are the white sons. The white son, it's one of them. Before the Asian wife. Uh-oh. And why did he marry the Asian wife, Z? Mainly to try to open into the Chinese market? Trying to get into the Chinese market? Anybody ever see those pictures with Mark Zuckerberg and his wife? Trying to appeal to the Asian well, the Chinese, excuse me. The Chinese market? Huh? Not saying that he wouldn't have married her before. His marriage is probably not all business. But Rupert Murdoch, yeah, that was business. That was business. Even with I think he had what, 2 daughters with her or something like that. Yeah, but that was still all business. He has a daughter or two with her, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Stefco, this is what, like, men of color in general, but this is what white men are on. Non-black men of color, this is what they're on. This is what the white guys are on. It's fascinating listening to y'all talk about these non-black men as if South Asians aren't the most colorist people on the planet. Maybe, well, no, they're. I think they got the Latinos beat. Let's be honest. So when black women talk about this, it's like, still dark skin. Where are all the South Asian dudes and the Latino dudes banging down your door? What are you talking about? Even the Americanized ones, where are they? This reeks of white peen worship, but because we're women, we can't own that that's what we on. So we're going to use the tried and true excuse. Well, the men of my own race, they just don't find me attractive and appealing, and and I was bullied when I was a kid, and they don't like my features, and I want to explore my options. I want to practice hypergamy, and even though the majority of white men don't got it like that, right? Even though the majority of white men, they don't have that type of money either. Once again, 2/3 of men in America earn less than 60. Oh, excuse me, not even just earn less than 65. Will never surpass pretty much $65,000 a year in their life. Hypergamy, what do you mean? Right? I guess it's hypergamous for a woman that's earning $28,000 a year. Right? Huh. So listen to all Stefco speak. Like I said, I was a bit harsh, but I really don't want to go in on her because that wasn't the vibe of these two videos. You want to know what grinds Mr. Z's gears? What really grinds my gears is the moral high ground. The I did this as a response to, as if black boys aren't bullied by black girls also. As if darker skinned black boys don't have their features mocked and made fun of also. Have y'all not heard Godfrey talk? Yes, Godfrey the comedian. Right? So this Hardwick soft life thing, it sounds nice. Oh, Stefco, I promise you, the Gen Zs that's in their 20s now, give them another 20 years. Then they're going to be looking at kind of Gen Alpha, and they're going to be looking at whatever generation is supposed to be coming after Gen Alpha, and they're going to be looking at them like, well, it's going to be different for them. Not if the white dudes are still the white dudes. No, it's not. No, it's not. Especially if black collective wealth is supposed to be zero by 2053, which, let's be honest, that was projected before COVID-19. So 2053 today, y'all really gonna be on the white peen chase in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And they're gonna do y'all just like they did the boomer black women that was talking like this and the extra black women. Because remember the clip that was it BGS play? No. I think it was Passport OG. Right? The women talking, the black women talking, they had all the hopes in the world for Gen X women. How did that work out for Gen X women? Black Gen X women, culturally, okay, just like black Gen X men, culturally, but what about that money though? Oops. What about ending up with the white dudes? Yikes. Sounds nice, right? You can't escape black men. Y'all remember that? Those boomer black women with the Gen and the ones coming up behind us, they talking about Gen X women. They ain't gonna have to deal with none of it. They're gonna have choices and they're gonna be. I think Vivica A. Fox's life says different, and she's famous. I think Lisa Ray's life says different, and she's famous. Black famous, at least. Huh? I think Claudia Jordan's life says different. Huh? Tracy Ellis Ross and her mom was famous. As a matter of fact, let's be honest. Tracy Ellis Ross, her mom is still more famous than she is. Huh? Sanaa Lathan, and she's still gorgeous. Who else? Regina Hall, another baddie. 50 put a foot so far up her rear end, she had to make a little skit to make herself feel better about it. Right? And Let's Go says, Z, what did Godfrey say? No, he just was saying how people, including women, girls, were making fun of him when he was a kid for his features, his darker skin and his lips and whatnot. Right? And yeah, Jake, I was so that was what I was supposed to cover tonight, right now. But I think I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow morning. And Jake says, Z, did you see the video of the women bugging out about Ed Blum and the end of DEI? Wait a minute, let's see. There's a couple of people and they occupy this space called the Black Manosphere. One of them is named Mr. Z. You know, we have a couple of others, right? We have BGS, we have Charles Faulkner Jr., we have Art New Style, we have Artist MC, we have a bunch, we have Roguish, so we have a bunch of people, right? We got we got a bunch of black men that are either content creators or that come up on panels and contribute, or even some of y'all in the comments, and we all been saying it for a couple years now. We've all been saying it. Huh? Huh. So, hard wig, soft life sounds nice. Dear Ostefco, yawn. Ostefco, I promise you, I'm a couple years younger than you, Ostefco. I promise you, Generation Z is not going to go too far with the non-black men. Generation Z black women are not going to go too far because it's not going to be Generation Z black women. It's not going to be black women to break that racial hierarchy when it comes to beauty. You can't do it on your own. Let me say that better. You can't do it without black men, period, point blank. It's not going to be white men. White men could put heavy set, dark skinned black women on every magazine cover. It's not going to move the needle. It's not. It's black men or nothing. It's black men or nothing, Chrissy, period. So, will one or two of you maybe end up with the white guy and sell out in the sunset? Yes. The Latino guy, maybe, possibly. Knock on wood, cross fingers, pray to God. Maybe even the Asian dude. Yes, and I finally seen the commercial, y'all. She cute dark skin sister, but stop. Look, that is a testament to, and regardless if this was written in a book once or whatever, that is a testament to these people really reading through the comments and watching certain content on social media. That commercial, the black tea. Oh man, black women, they listening to y'all. Now let's see if that actually translates to Asian men being more open to marrying black women. Because um let me see. Issa Rae made that comment about Korean men and Asian men and black women need to get together. What, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago? Maybe even 6? Right? Did that move the needle much? Now we have this movie, and if you go through the comments, it's black women. Like, yes, finally, it's a beautiful movie. She's gorgeous. She is pretty. That is a pretty dark skinned black woman. But yes, this is so beautiful. I love it. I love the way it looks. And you go through the comments, and it's like, is that gonna actually move the needle in real life? Right? And Jake says, Z, I have a picture of Issa Rae holding a book up about swirling. Yeah, and she's married. And she's what? Is she still engaged? Right? And Big Kev says, what movie? I think it's called The Black Tea or something like that. And from what I can gather about the commercial, it's a black woman who looked like she was supposed to be married to a black man, and then she runs and somehow she ends up in Asia maybe, and now she's like it looks like her and this Asian dude. I don't know if it's China or Japan. Looks like China, but East Asian country. And like it looks like they slowly fall for each other, and he looks like an older dude too. It looks like there's an age gap in there, right? Looks like a middle age or maybe even a little bit past middle age Asian dude, Chinese, Japanese, right? And he slowly falls for her, and you know, yeah. Thank you, Dre, and thank you. And Dre says black tea still has me dying, bro. Also, no one is talking about the age gap. Yep, because black women just want to see themselves in this way, and I think that's okay. Let us not forget about the show that came out, what, like a couple, what, that, over a year ago, about black women during the Victorian era, maybe Regency era, or not even black women, a black woman. It was one of these kind of matchmaking reality shows where this black woman had all these dudes vying for her, and it was taking place in this kind of European setting, kind of Regency era, Victorian era, like European setting, and they were all dressed in that particular type of dress from 100 and some odd years ago. Okay, it takes place in China. Okay, right. Huh. So we're gonna continue to see this because non-black folks know black women want to see it. Goes. It ties back to the article also, right? Strategic singleness. These people hear black women. They know black women want to hear and see these things, so they're gonna give that to y'all, right? Yeah. And Big Kev says that's stupid. Look at the last Airbender. The IR relationship between Aang and Katara did nothing to move the needle on IR relationships. They don't hear it. For those of us that are watching Titan right on what streaming service is that? Right? Based off of Teen Titans, but it's more live action, Titan. They have what's her name? What Starfire? Is that her name? She's black. Cute dark skinned sister. What that mean? And in the movie, in the show, I said movie. In the show, she ends up with Robin, right? Is that gonna move the needle in real life? Thank you, HBO Max. Yeah, right. Is that gonna move the needle in real life? Are there going to be white men that end up with black women? Yes. Darker skinned black women? Yes. Light skinned black women? Yes. Mixed black women? Yes. Any significant number? Probably not. Right? Do these images move the needle for the masses of white men to be in and white men, Latino men, Asian men in the West, Americanized? Does it move the needle at all for them to be interested in black women? No. No. So Hardwick Soft Life sounds nice. Your average white man, even your average white man that lives on social media, does he even know anything about this? No. Right? Huh. So, there's, on that note, I think Ostefko addressing this the way, especially on the second video, she, you know, pumped the brakes a little bit, but the second video is actually older than the first one. The first link I put is actually a more recent video than the second link I put up. Right? But Ostefko, it is insulting. At least for Z. I don't know about other brothers. Right? I don't know about other black men. The Hardwick soft life thing, and the way I see so many millennials just speak about, yeah, it's not this interracial thing. Z's don't really look like they care because they grow up in diverse environments and and yet we have videos of young black women who are sexual playthings for a frat bro over here, dark skinned black woman, not overweight, white frat bro done played her ass. Be honest, Z. She played herself and then he played her more. Huh? Every generation of black women have hopes that the other generation coming up behind them of black women are going to be accepted by white men. And the way y'all frame it, the framing, because I know Mr. Z sounds coarse right now. I sound harsh. I sound mean, right? And somewhere, some black woman trying to reframe this. No, it's not that. No, it is that. Every generation, y'all hoping and praying that y'all not gonna have to deal with black men on black men's terms. Negotiate and work with black men and cooperate with black men. Every generation, y'all hoping that the white man in real significant number scoops y'all up. That the Latino man scoops y'all up. The Asian men scoop y'all up. Every generation. I probably shout out to Passport OG. You watch that clip and yeah, the ones that's coming up behind us, and that's boomer black women talking. Now, your oldest Gen X is what, mid late 50s, right? If not even early 60s, what are they, mid late 50s? Well, that didn't work out. It sound nice. It sounded nice in the 80s, huh? Yeah, the ones that's coming up behind us, they're not gonna. Yeah, that sound nice. 30, 40 years later, and lithium says 44 to 59. Exactly. Lithium says 59. Exactly. See, when you in the 80s, and yeah, they're not gonna have to deal with this. They're not gonna have to listen to black men. Yeah, and the oldest of them is damn near 60. How did that work? Huh? The youngest is 44. How did that work? How did not having to? How did they're not gonna have to care about what black men think? How did that work? Oh, Steph Co, you're pretty much saying the same thing about Gen Z black women. I promise you, that needle not gonna move, not any significant way. What's gonna happen is that Gen Z black women, if they don't correct, if they don't correct, emergency stomp on the brakes. They're gonna hit that iceberg of loneliness, just like Xer black women did, just like a lot of black boomers did, just like millennials are doing right now. Exhibit A, you, Stefco. Huh. First, black women, you can't run from yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. Secondly, you really can't run from black men. Third, the white guys are the white guys, the Latinos are the Latinos, the Asians are the Asians, the indigenous dudes are the indigenous dudes. The Arabs, the Persians, whoever else, they are who they are. They have shown you what they think about black women. What do they think about black women, Z? They don't think about black women. A couple of white dudes over here, a couple of Latinos over there, and that's about it. It's called anti-blackness for a reason. How do black women complain about colorism practiced by black men, and then y'all got the unmitigated gall to mention Latino men as if that's better. And Asian men. That includes East and South Asian men? Oh, yeah, that's it. And then every generation think the one generation behind them is going to be they're going to be the one. We got to put our hopes in them, right? So on that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Truly, love, peace, and chicken grease. Um, oh, Stefco, no, just no, right? The white peen chase, justifying the white peen chase, right? Excusing the white peen chase because somehow black men are defective. They don't value black women. They don't value darker skinned black women. They don't value black women with wider noses and fuller lips and right 4C hair and this type of hair texture. That's what y'all say, right? And so as you said in your first video, y'all are gonna open up your options to non-black men, namely white men, who don't know that y'all are supposed to look a certain way and dress a certain way and don't care about the black woman aesthetic and how black women are supposed to upkeep themselves. And that sounds nice. And the numbers just don't show that that's working. And we always speak about black women's loyalty to black men. And that's the reason why so many of you don't end up with non-black men, namely white men. Alrighty then. Let's see. Right? Jake said, for Keisha wept as she saw there were no more Jermaines to blame. Yeah, right. So on that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all night. I hope I wasn't too harsh to Steph Copez. She didn't come off like that in these two videos, but I really have a problem with this. Always assuming that black women sit and black girls sit on a moral pedestal above black men because that's the way these conversations are framed. Even when it fails for black women, they're sticking the middle finger up at black men because of whatever happened when they were children with black boys. And the sticking mid, all right, I don't have to worry about what you think. I don't have to worry about what you feel. And then you're out there for 10 and 15 and 20 years dating out since high school, or being open to date out since high school. And then you have a change of heart in your late 30s, maybe even your early 40s, and you don't see how that might be insulting to black men? I don't know. And so, y'all, all right, y'all have a great rest of y'all night. We'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. So you don't sound like some of these people that watch that commercial for the black tea. These women, the desperation. I told y'all when Fung Brothers used to speak about these interracial relationships, and you see so many black women in the comments begging, groveling, and I'm a black man, and it's just so cringy. It's so cringy. Watching black young girls, some of them even minors, and black women in their 20s. Are y'all into black women? Have you dated a black girl? Well, not dated a black girl. That's a whole different issue. Have you dated black women before? Are you into black women? What do I have to do? How do I have to act? What do I have to dress? What do I have to be to attract the Asian guy? Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z could talk about that forever. Anyway, Mr. Z out. Peace.